Hello, this is Rich Langen with the Serrano Fire Safe Council. In this video, we'll be talking with Alex Bourriague, Defensible Space Inspector with the Dorado Hills Fire Department. He'll be answering questions regarding how a potential wildfire might spread through the Serrano community and what actions homeowners can take to reduce the risk and impact to their homes. During a wildfire event, where are embers likely to land and what could they ignite?
So embers, they can pretty much land all over. However, some of the key areas I've seen, at least out on my inspections, are gutters, right? You have a bunch of dead material that can be in there, as well as other areas around the home that have pockets of dead material. Embers can land and ignite those areas as well.
Recently, there's been more and more discussion about the so-called zone 0 surrounding the house, that is the zone from 0 to 5 feet out. Can you explain why that's a particular vulnerability?
Zone 0 is sort of this area where a lot of homeowners like to have things placed, bushes, shrubs, bark. So if we remove those combustible items from that zone 0, then we don't have the risk of those embers landing and igniting from the structure from that area.
What is the most likely way ignited vegetation and wood fences in the yard can ignite a house?
So we can think of a wooden fence that if you follow it all the way down at the end of the property, it goes down the fence line and then you have the wing fence and it brings it to the property. So that acts as a flow path. So if we think about the wing fences, if we were to replace that with a non-combustible material, then the fire that would travel along the wood fence actually stops at the wing fence. So if we think about the vegetation acts in the same way, that if we interrupt these flow paths, it doesn't carry fire to the structure.
During a wildfire event, what is the most likely way that a wildfire could spread throughout a neighborhood?
So the most likely way is there's a couple factors that are involved where you can have fire, either spread from an open space, from a structure, where that allows, direct flame to move throughout the neighborhood. And the other big factor that we're seeing a lot is embers. Embers, can travel and start spots throughout the neighborhood as well.
And is there any possibility that it could travel along a fence line?
Correct. It can also travel along fence lines depending on if that fence line is either impacted by direct flame or embers landed near that fence line that ignite and then carry the fire along.
So what would you recommend to homeowners? What action should they take over the next 1, 2, or 3 years?
What homeowners can do is they can reach out to the Serrano Fire Safe Council, where they have trained members that are able to do assessments, which consist of them walking around with the homeowner, doing a full 360 of the structure and identifying areas that they can make improvements on. The biggest thing I can recommend is slow and steady wins the race, right? I always tell folks that, hey, you want to slowly chip away at it. You're not going to get it done overnight. So the biggest thing you can think about is everything we've sort of been saying is this 0 to 5 feet. Go outside, look around exactly what's within that 5 feet and start there. Whether if it's from bark or mulch, starting really small. As I say, one upgrade you can do within that 5 feet of your home is looking at the soffit vents around the home and seeing that if they are 1/4 inch, that you can upgrade them to an 1/8 inch vent screen.
So Alex, thank you very much for your time today. We really appreciate you educating the Serrano community on defensive space.
Great to be able to talk to the community more about this, and I look forward to seeing the progress made in the neighborhood.